Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day. In today's video, I'm actually going to be designing it as we go, so be prepared for a few pattern adjustments. I'll try to keep them to a minimum. To begin with, what we need is an assortment of strips, and these are measuring 1.5 inches wide, and we need a total of 48 inches. It doesn't need to be continuous, of a lighter fabric and then of a darker. And because I'm using some leftovers, these were strips that were anywhere from 1/4 to 2 inches, so I trimmed them down. So I thought I would try to mix them up. So first, what we're going to do is take these strips and join them together. I also have an assortment of 1.5 by 2.5 inch rectangular darker fabric, and I'll show you what to do with those later. So let's get started. So I'm going to take my light. I've decided I'm going to flip it over and use the non-pattern side on the right side, and then I'm going to take another strip of contrasting fabric here. I will loosely pin it and do a nice scant 1/4 inch all the way down, and then fold these open, and then I'll show you what we do next. With these strips being joined together, and again, you need a total of 42 inches. It doesn't need to have to be continuous, because what we're going to do is we're now going to cut these down into 1.5 inch wide units. So I'm just going to take a ruler. I've got my center mark here, and then I will trim like that, and then I'll just go along and keep doing it until I have them all made. With these groups now done, I'm just going to set them aside for now. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the darker pieces. These each measure 1.5 by 2.5, and we're going to create rows out of them. So just pick randomly whatever ones reach out to you. This is meant to be scrappy, and you're going to join them end to end. And your first group is going to have 9. And then you're going to do 2 that will be 7, 2 that'll be 5, 2 that'll be 3, and then you'll have 2 that'll be left just as singles. So I'll go ahead and do that. I will be pressing these to one side, and then I'll join you back here. Remember these that we made earlier? We're now going to be piecing these together. So what you're going to do is end to end with the scant 1/4 inch. You're going to be making 2 that have 3. You're going to be making 2 that have 5, 2 that have 7, and 2 that are left singles like this. With all those strips being pieced together, we should now have a variety of columns. This is the center one, which is the 9 that we put together. I just have a piece of tape to mark for the center just for my own reference. This one we're going to set aside for now. What we're going to do is we're going to take a single of the 1.5, 2.5 and piece it together with one of the 1.5, 1.5s that were joined at one stage with the dark facing up. And then we're going to take another piece and have the light facing up. So these will be separate units with a 1/4 inch seam there and another there. And then we will continue to do the same thing with the others. So just putting those aside. Here's the 3. So we'll have one that will be pieced here, and then we'll have another one that is pieced together there. So that after that we'll have the 5 and the 7, and then we'll start doing our final assembly. So here are each sections that I have pieced together, and they're now independent of each other. So just as an example, these 2 are the same, but they're the opposite, because one is a dark in the upper right and one is a light. So we're going to flip it around and place it like this. And I did put the tape in the center. It just visually helps me keep it all straight on where they'll end up being in their final position. So have you guessed that this is going to be an on-point block? And what we need to do is now fill in these. You can, if you wanted to, you could square this off by filling this in with size of 2.5 inch square. So you'd have 2.5 inch here, you'd have 2.5 inch by 5.5 inch here, and then the next one would be by 7.5, and then this one would be by 10, and you do that in all four corners. Or you can do what I'm going to do. So for the cornerstones, which are these peaks here, you would take a square that is 2 3/4 inches, and then you're just going to cut it. Then you're just going to cut it from corner to corner so that you have two halves, and then one would be joined like this, and then the other like that, and that takes care of these points here. And then to fill in the sides, you would take a 5-inch square, and then you would be cutting it from corner to corner twice, and then each of those wedges would fit in these other two positions here. I've just laid the triangles in position so you can get an idea of what it's going to look like. And the easiest way to assemble this is to do it in columns like this. And if you need to know the positioning of the triangles, you're just going to line them up on the one seam, and the leftover will just hang over. And then when you go to join them together, they will match up nicely. There will be a little bit of trimming, but it will work out, trust me. So take care of making sure that the center parts of the blocks are indeed lined up, and then this will also ensure that all of these darker squares going across on the horizontal will also match. So I'm just going to go ahead and piece this, and then I'll join you back here. Okay, so I now have the sides on, and I was incorrect. We actually need 4 5-inch squares that are cut on the diagonal, and that will yield you 4 per side. And then for the actual corners that go here and then at the top, etc., those are the ones where we need just 2 that are 2 3/4 cut on the diagonal like that. So like that, and they will go like that. Now the easiest way to put these into position is to fold this in half to get your center mark here. And then when you go to put it right side together, you want to make sure your point is right there. So you're going to line this up like this. This is your point here, and you're going to want to make sure wherever your crease mark is in the center is going to line up where half is on this side. And again, pinning, these will just touch the edges here if you've got it lined up properly, and then you do your 1/4 inch and you flip it open, and like magic you have your perfect corner. So I've got 4 of those to do, so I'll go ahead, I'll get this all finished piecing, and then I'll show you what it looks like. I just have one more seam to piece the 2 units together. I just giving you an update on what it looks like, and I think it's coming together very nicely. The only other pieces to put on are the end pieces here and here, so that this makes sense, and a good pressing. I have to say, when you're putting it together, to take your time with all your seams and to pin. It also stops it from stretching this way. And then you'll notice on when you put all the triangles in that you have those extra bits, and I will go along and trim those. So I'll see you back here once I have this all done. So here it is all done. It measures approximately 15.5 unfinished. I think what I'll do is I'll square this up, and I will make it into a throw pillow because I really like the design. If you added some sashing to the outside and made multiple blocks, that would look great too. When you go to trim this up, If you have a ruler, it doesn't need to be square, but if you take the 45-degree and lay it on one of the sewing lines, that'll give you a good reference for where to trim, and then you just go down to where you're running out of fabric. I would encourage you to stay stitch around the outside because this is all stretchy. And I apologize for the mix-up on the triangles that you use on the side. So in the end, what I ended up using was 4 5-inch squares that were cut on the diagonal, and that gave us these points here. And then for the ends, I used 2 squares that were 3.5 inches, and they were just cut once on the diagonal. So it is very easy to do. There are a lot of seams. I do have to do some more pressing, and all these little bits, as I said, they can be trimmed off because that's just a kneaded fabric that's adding extra bulk. So let me know in your comments whether you like this one or not. It is a good way to use up a lot of potato chips on the smaller size and a lot of 1.5-inch squares, or as you saw me do that, I did strip piece those. So that's another good way to use up some odd fabric. So until next time, please continue to share, like, and don't forget to subscribe. So until next time, take care, sew safely, and sew with Debee. Bye for now.